Today we'll still be working with VMware for the PC. In this video we will install a printer on our virtual machines. 2. We will deploy a printer using Active Directory. 3. We will schedule printer access. 4. We will manage queued print jobs. Okay, to begin with step number 1 of installing a printer, you first must have the printer service role installed. And to install it, you would go to Start, Administrative Tools, and then bring up your Server Manager. And then in the left pane, you would click on Roles, and underneath Roles Summary in the right pane, go ahead and click on Add Roles. And when the wizard pops up, the first page is just the Before You Begin page. It gives you a little summary of the wizard. Go ahead and click Next on that. Next is where you select your server roles. You can see I'm on my server O2 machine. I don't have a lot of roles installed on this one like my main server, but the one we need for this is print services. Go ahead and check the checkbox and click Next. This just tells you a little introduction to print services. Gives you a couple little hints. Go ahead and click Next on that. And this is where you select the roles that you want for the print services. Now, the one we're going to be selecting is print server, and this is just the basic thing. It includes the print management snap-in, which lets you manage multiple printers or print servers. The LPD service enables Unix-based computers to print from the printer share on this server. And internet printing will create a website where users can manage print jobs on the server. Let's go ahead and make sure that the checkbox for print server is checked. Go ahead and click Next. This is just a confirmation screen. You can see that it's installing the print services print server. Go ahead and click Install after you confirm your settings are correct. After it installs, you get the installation results. You can see here that the installation was successful. My warning message is just because I don't have my automatic updates enabled. Go ahead and close that out. And then after you install it, you'll have to restart your server. Step 2, which is deploying a printer using Active Directory. To do this, I'll be doing this on both my server O2 machine and my server O1 machine, which I already have a printer installed on. But to finish installing a printer after you have the roles, the print server role installed, go to Start, Administrative Tools, and now you will have the print management tool here. We'll go ahead and open that. This brings up the print management snap-in. You'll have to expand the print servers node and then click on your local server. Mine says 2020 server O2 local, and then click on printers. And you can see here in the middle pane that it already has a couple of printers installed, but we're not going to worry about those. To install a printer on this server, make sure you have printers selected. Right click it and click on Add Printer. And then this brings up the printer installation wizard. You have a couple different options here. The first one is to search the network for printers, which would, if there's some that's already installed on your network, it would search for those. Add a TCP, IP, or web services printer by IP address or host name. Now, if you had set up a web-based printer before, whenever you were installing the server, then you would use this method here, and you could install it by the IP address. Number 3 is add a new printer using an existing port, which is what we'll be using. You have LPT1, LPT2, and then there's some other ones here like COM1 and COM2, but that's a serial port. We're using the printer ports. We'll go ahead and click on LPT1. And the last option is to create a new port and add a new printer. And if that's what you want, like say if you had a lot of printers going through one port, you could create a new port. That way it's minimize, kind of break up the traffic. coming in through to the printers. Go ahead and make sure that the third option is selected with LPT1 printer port selected from the drop down box, and click next. And this next is the print where you install the printer driver. The first option, which is grayed out to us, it says use the printer driver that the wizard selected. It's grayed out because it says compatible driver cannot be found. Then you have the next option is to use an existing printer driver on the computer. Now if you were adding another printer to this that was the same type of printer that you had previously installed, you could use this. Just make sure that you select the type of printer you had previously installed. But we're going to be using the last one, which is install a new driver. Click next, and it will search for your drivers. The one we're going to be using is under the manufacturer pane. We'll be clicking on generic, and underneath the printers we'll be using the MS Publisher color printer. Go ahead and highlight that. You don't want to click on have disk. You would use this if you had the driver on an actual CD-ROM drive to stick in the computer. We don't. So we're just going to go ahead and highlight the MS Publisher color printer and click next. Next that comes up is the printer name and sharing settings. For our printer name, you can type this for whatever you want. It's how people will see the printer show up on the network share. I'm going to go ahead and name mine MS Color 02 because it's on my server 02. And under the share name, make sure that you have the share this printer checkbox checked if you're wanting to share this printer. And under the share name, that's how people will see it that are accessing it through the share. I'm just going to go ahead and make it the same name as the printer, MS Color 02. In the location, say you were working with a company and you had a computer on the left side of the building or something, you could type in the location there. And you can also leave a comment that will show up whenever somebody mouses over the printer, like telling them what to use this printer for, or that this is for managers only or staff only. Once you have that set up how you want, go ahead and click next. And you can see here it says printer found. The printer's ready to be installed, and it shows us the settings we've chosen. Go ahead and click next, and you can see here that the status was successful. You have a couple options at the bottom. One is to print a test page, and the second one is to add another printer. I don't want to do either of these, so I'm going to go ahead and click finish. And you can see here underneath our local server, under printers, we now have our MS Color 02 printer that we just made. Step 2, we'll be deploying a printer using Active Directory. I'm on my server 01 machine, which I had previously installed a printer on before making this video. And this is in you got to go to your print management screen from start, administrative tools, and then print management. In the left pane you have to expand your print servers node, and then click on expand your local server node. And then under printers you'll see that I have installed the MS Color 01. I also have the ones that were originally there from like on the server 02. But to deploy my MS Color 01 printer with Active Directory, we'll just highlight it, right click it, put list in directory. We'll be going on to the step 3, scheduling printer access. Once again, I'm in the print management snap-in, which is under start, administrative tools, print management. I went ahead and added another printer before this step, and I use the same settings, LPT1, and the same driver settings as the as before, but I just changed the name to PM. And to schedule printing access, we're going to right click on our MS Color 01 and go to properties, and in the properties box we'll click on advanced, and this brings up where you can change your times and different things about the printer. The first one, which is checked, says always available. We're going to check available from and change hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the next option is priority, and this sets how often this computer will be chosen out of a group of other computers that are linked together. The higher the number, the higher the priority. We're just going to leave it set as 1. You can see the driver that you're using, and the other options that are checked here is spool print documents, so program finishes printing faster. And underneath that you have start printing after last page is spooled, and the one that's checked is start printing immediately. What a printer spool is it collects the job, and how these options are set now with start printing immediately, as soon as it starts receiving the command to print the page, it'll start printing it. If you put start printing after last page is spooled, it'll wait till all the data is collected and then it'll start. At the bottom you have hold mismatched documents. The next one, which is checked, is print spooled documents first. The third one, which is unchecked, is keep printed documents, which would save them to your server. 4, enable advanced printing features. That lets us make our printer available or change our times and our priority. I'm going to go ahead and click apply. And then we'll go to the second printer we created. Go to properties on it. Go to advanced. We're going to make this one always available, and we're going to change the priority on it to 99, which means it will always go first. We'll leave all the other things the same as before, and we'll click apply. Now we'll be going on to step 4, managing queued print jobs. To start this step, I'm going to go ahead, I'm on my server 01, I'm going to go ahead and open up Internet Explorer, and I'm just going to print the screen that comes up here. I'm just going to right click, click print. I'm going to select my MS Color 01, click apply, click print. I'm going to do this a few more times to get some print jobs queued up, and then I'll return back with the video. Okay, now I've added up some print jobs. We're going to go to our print management screen, start all administrative tools, print management, and then once again expand your print servers node, and then expand the local server node. Click on printers. You can see here in the middle pane our MS Color 01, the queue status says error, jobs in the queue is 5, and the server, it shows the server name. Go ahead and right click on that, and we'll click on open printer queue, and you can see here this shows all the things that I've sent to be printed here. You can see the time it was submitted, the port it came through, the size. You can see the error message there. The error was in printing, and you can see here that we have an error, and if this was an error that was stopping the rest of these from printing, which it is, you could right click on it and you have the option to pause it, restart it, or cancel it. You can also go to properties. You can see the size of it, where it came from, what time it was submitted. We're going to go ahead and cancel. And it says, are you sure you want to cancel the document? And you can see that we have more errors popping up here. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel all of these. And this concludes the video for Lab 4.